Once we've segmented the market and selected the targets to go after, we need to ultimately decide on the positioning of our products within the specific market of interest. And to do that, we decide on a specific product positioning. Now, the act of positioning a product can be defined as something like this. It's the act of framing the company's image and offer in the target consumer's mind so it occupies a distinct and valued place in relation to competitors. Very often, companies will devise a positioning statement that best reflects this. But what's really important to understand is that this is the effort of the company, but ultimately, the position of a product is determined by consumer perception. It's determined based on what consumers perceive a product to be, rather than explicitly what a firm hopes that a consumer will see. So if we think about what a product's position actually is, so it's more accurate to say that it is the actual image or perception of the product in the minds of a consumer relative to the competition. It's a subtle distinction, but it's a critical one. Perception from consumers drives everything. Companies often attempt to put positioning out into the world, and sometimes that's well received by consumers, and sometimes it's not. At the end of the day, the efforts of the company are almost incidental to the perception that consumers may have. And there are indeed many different strategies to attempt to create this positioning so that consumers' perceptions match the efforts that a company is taking. So let's go through some of those right now. A simple one is to just position by attribute, simply highlighting the different attributes that a product has. For example, with toothpaste, you might consider toothpaste that is high in baking soda. That is one differentiator, and hopefully that puts into the consumer's minds what exactly this product is offering. We might want to consider positioning by the benefit that the product provides. So for instance, a product like Effidac, it's a medication that can offer 24-hour relief. You're explicitly positioning it as a product with long-lasting relief as opposed to something that might be transient in nature. And so that positioning hopefully attracts consumers interested in that particular benefit. As a fun example of that, consider this advertisement from Audi. They're not even showing you a picture of the car. Instead, what they're highlighting is the traction that the car has under the Audi Quattro concept. And they're showing that via this bubblegum example, which is a nice way to highlight the benefit that the car provides, high traction, as opposed to just highlighting the car itself. Another option, a pretty straightforward one in fact, is to use price and quality to differentiate, to position your product. Think Kmart as a low-end option, as a low-price option, versus Nordstrom, which is a high-end, premium, high-cost option. Simply positioning the product offerings as a function of price is a clear way to signal to consumers what it is they'll be getting. Consider another approach, positioning by use or occasion. Think about Tylenol PM. That's specifically selling a product for the evenings as opposed to for daytime. It is offering a product for a particular market category and demonstrating why that product should be used in this particular use case. As another example, see this advertisement from Ritz crackers. It's highlighting that the purpose of Ritz can be to use it on road trips. It's a snack on the go. That is a deliberate attempt to put into the minds of consumers that this product is useful and effective for this particular use case. You could also imagine positioning relative to individuals. Who are the users that are going to be using this product? Gerber's is a baby food product category, and they have different levels of products for different ages. Gerber's Graduates is a transition product from a mushy food to a more solid food, and it is specifically targeted at that user base, children of that age and that developmental stage. Again, another example, consider this ad from Target. It's selling product to a specific person. It's selling it to women, in this case, who are particularly handy and want to take on home renovation tasks on their own. This is specifically signaling out a particular type of person, and that is the positioning strategy being used. You could imagine positioning relative to competitors. Think about Avis and Hertz. Very often, they position themselves relative to one another, as either the number 2 player or the leading player, or comparing attributes of each of those services to describe how they are different relative to a leading competitor. You could even imagine positioning within a single product line. So here's a list of products that Procter & Gamble offers in the laundry detergent space. These are all their brands, and yet they position them very differently. I just want to highlight 2 of them. I want to look at Tide, and I'm going to look at Gain. Tide's positioning is about tough, powerful cleaning, whereas Gain's positioning is about scent and odor removal. And if you look at the way that they advertise these products, it's wildly different. So I'm going to show you 2 commercials, one for Tide, one for Gain. Remember, both from the same company, Procter & Gamble, and yet taking very different approaches. So here's the commercial for Tide.
So I'm in love with this cute pair of jeans. Only $100. But am I wearing them now? Hello, I'm wearing my older sister's jeans that she ruined with barbecue sauce. Or so I thought. See, my mom washed them with this Tide stain release and wash booster stuff. She's all, you use it with your detergent to help get stains out the first time. Are you kidding me? So now the stains are magically gone and my sister passes on her jeans to me. What a life.
Tide Stain Release. Stains out, no doubt.
And here's the commercial for Gain.
Here's a fun fact. This single scoop of Gain gives more freshness than a whole box of this other stuff. And that much freshness is gonna take some getting used to. Yep, it's amazing what a single scoop of Gain freshness can do. Get more freshness from Gain or get your money back. Guaranteed.
You can see how different those two approaches are. It's the same basic product, but they're describing it differently to go after different market segments. They're positioning their product within a particular segment that has been identified as attractive in order to convince consumers that what they have to offer is worthwhile. This act of positioning is the final step in the segmentation, targeting, and positioning strategy. There's a lot more depth that we could cover in this, but given the short amount of time, what I hope you get is a high-level overview of all the different areas in question.